e-gaming bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Welcome back, everybody, to game number 3 between Power Rangers and Elements. It's finally here. Pause after long delay between games.
Intermittent issues with internet.
And we're probably going to have it again because Arcade Power Rangers have brought back their player from game number 1. Recovery is here. Let's hope he made a full recovery this time.
Dank.
Thank you. Anyway, we have a draft. Tusk, Lardar for Power Rangers, Ember Spirit, Disruptor, and Wind Ranger. You know, honestly, I'll tell you, Darka, honestly, it's hard to get excited about Dota when issues like this occur. I mean, watching a team have an 8,000 gold lead by 23 minutes or whatever, it's pretty significant. The game's relatively one-sided. I mean, not complete one-sided. The game wasn't over yet by any means.
It was back and forth, but it was swinging one way.
Yeah, but the fact that we had to, like, just end it on a forfeit.
Our player's gone. GG.
I mean, that just kills my steam.
Abaddon, okay. We saw this at the major. Was it VG that did it, or was it eHome? He just did some gang signs to me, and I'm unsure what he meant. He's choking on his own laughter. I think that was eHome. He's nodding now. Yeah, so it was eHome. Oh, it was Lanham, wasn't it? That picked up Abaddon against the Slardar to dispel the amplified damage.
Oh God. Oh yeah.
Death doesn't suit you.
Water went down the wrong hole, man.
Reserve time.
Plus, you said something funny that at the same time. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, I think I lost my memory when I started almost dying there.
Radiant team back.
How embarrassing would it be if I drowned in the middle of a broadcast?
Yeah, don't waterboard yourself. I know you were in the American Marines.
USA. Juggernaut is going to be the pickup now for Power Rangers. Why'd they get it Abaddon? Against Slardar. Yeah, that's right.
5 seconds remaining.
And there is I mean, I think Abaddon's pretty good versus Tuskar.
Reserve time.
I like the Jug pick, though. One of the few carry heroes that is exceptionally good against the Wind Ranger. Seeing as Omnislash does that fizz damage through the Wind Run.
Early physical damage can threaten the Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
As well. If you have the lockdown, obviously, and that's going to be what's essential. But if they get the Slardar with a Blink Dagger, you know, Blink, Crush, Amplify, Omnislash.
Is this going to be Venge support? I'm assuming Venge support.
I am assuming as well, but Arcade did play with FNG back in the day.
Yeah, that's like the one thing that's ticking in my head is like, hang on a second, it's Power Rangers.
But neither J4 nor Shoshio Cat were actually the ones playing
No.
the Vengeful Spirit.
Who was playing it?
Let's see, it was FNG.
10 seconds remaining.
It was before Ditira's time.
Shoshio Cat. Yeah, it was before him.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't know.
Bloody hell, I can't remember. They've had so many roster changes, it's...
Reserve time.
I feel like it's a player that's not in the game anymore.
Yeah, I feel that way as well.
10 seconds
Is my
remaining.
internet slower than yours? Yeah, it looks like it.
Moon.
Moon used to play it.
Moon?
5
Okay,
seconds
yeah.
remaining.
Yeah, definitely.
Moon, Shachlo, Ditchira came in. Yeah.
Dire team pick.
Okay, a Centaur picked up 4 elements. This is an interesting draft. And a Viper is a response from Power Rangers. So they want to be able to win that mid lane. The Centaur, though, why? He's a hero. I mean, you've got hard stuns. But I mean, the Viper wasn't even picked up. So if you just looked at Tusk, Lordar, Vengeful Spirit, it's not like the ultimate is good at disengaging against hard stuns.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the hero who's like, give me Centaur.
Prepare for battle.
Well,
They've got. Maybe they want to use it aggressively. Like we always think of Stampede as a more defensive ability, right, where you disengage.
Yeah.
But if they're the ones that can catch here, they've got great ways of just charging people down with a Baden shield, glimpse back from Disruptor, and obviously chains Ember Spirit. They've got good ways of controlling. It's just the Arcade are so tanky. 2 strength heroes, Slardar and Tusk, are pretty damn good with their pretty high armor to start off with, good HP pools. And there's nothing really to deal with that Jugger healing ward unless the Wind Ranger can get in there and take it out.
pushing back the Centaur, not letting him get down his ward to block out the camp. Elements are going to be going for the top rune, though. Power Rangers look to challenge. I'm not sure if they can win this fight. I mean, they've got a... Slardar's pretty good level 1. Juggernaut's great level 1. But Abaddon's really good for setting up the fight. He can lead the fight with 2 aphotic shields, actually. He's going to put one on himself now.
Do you go kinetic
Start
field
charging
here?
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinetic field blocks in J4. Recovery still has his spin. Big Num is looking for the stun now. They're going to try and sit on that bounty rune. Yoku goes for it, but Barsh is the one to actually pick it up. Big Num's dropping lower and lower, but they do have the spin. Laying out. It's on 2 different strength heroes. ZXC tries to wait out the stun, but he still doesn't manage to get recovery, and he'll be your first blood. Barsh is going to go down and return, but so too is Screen. He's going to fall as Big Num comes back into the fight after popping the healing salve and helps get the additional kill for Power Rangers.
This is without arguably the best level 1 fighter here is the Tusk. He's down in bottom lane, still just blocking up his camp, blocking up his wave.
Yeah, so big win for Power Rangers in that fight. I mean, that comes down to the spin, hitting 2 different heroes like that for like the full duration. That was pretty insane. ZXE, he's gonna be stunned up here. He may be dead. They've got the spin in a second. Yeah, ZXC is done for. They don't even need the spin. They just body block him up really well. And, oh, the aphotic shield. Now they have to go for the dive, and they'll get it.
Now, you know how we thought that, well, we kind of assumed they didn't talk about it, right? Slardar was going to be off lane, but he's actually in the support role.
Yeah.
That initial level 1 fight started off with J4 cancelling out Centaur Stomp, and I think that was a really big deal, because they've got Kinetic Field onto 2, the Venge +1, I can't remember who it was. But she cancelled out the Stomp from Centaur, managed to reposition herself with Boots level 1, just starting off these fights perfectly.
Why not Slardar bottom, though?
I'm unsure.
Because if Slardar was bottom, his physical damage is really good versus Ember Spirit, who starts with very low armor. Now, Tuskus obviously outputs a decent amount of physical damage himself, but denying the neutrals by the Venge.
And with the Tusk, you drag the Juggernaut in, you get a great way of initiating with that snowball forward onto a hero like Centaur.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure.
Maybe it just comes down to personal preference.
It's now going to be dual lanes, though, for elements here as J4. These boots level 1 have definitely paid off for them. Observer Ward goes down from ZXC. I'm not sure if that was spotted out there by Arcade. But mid lane, Just going to see this rotation coming in from J4 once again. They've got a high ground observer ward watching out across that ramp to see when the Venger's coming in though. So unless she gets an invis or a haste, it's a bounty room. There's no way.
It's got to be an illusion for Cheshire Cat. Do you know if illusions count towards the snowball damage? The increased damage per ally that you soak into the snowball?
Don't know.
I bet it does. So if he brought it with him, that would be an extra 40 damage right now. They go on to Yoku, trying to body block him up. They still have the ice shards, waiting out the wind run. And Yoku, that was a pretty deft dodge that he just executed there. Running right just as the ice shards gets thrown out ahead of him. Still, puts a lot of pressure on Yoku. Doesn't actually have any recovery. He has to get 2 different CS out of this. Otherwise, he won't have his bottle on time, and he'll just lose his lane outright. So, gets one of them, gets the other, and doesn't get the third, but with Tick Gold, he'll get his bottle soon enough. But not before he gets charged up. Cheshire Cat comes in. Whoa! Ice Shards misses, but the shot from Byrush does not.
He bought the bottle. That's all that matters. That's aggressive dual line up at top, though. Centaur with no last hits. They're not going how they wanted to, and the screen caught out here.
Oh, they maximized their stun time. That was really well played by Big Num. Unfortunately, if he had maybe gotten in a right click and instead of like stop spamming the stun, it was a good play because he maximized the stun duration and everything, but if he'd just been a little bit more perfect, maybe they could have gotten that kill on the Abaddon.
A little bit more perfect. Or ZXC, no. This is not where we were. Big Num, we'll just walk straight past him.
Alright, Aphotic Shield has been forced out. Good enough.
The bait out from this Slardar.
Unfortunately, he just took Hellbear Smash.
So across the map, Ember and Juggernaut, they are even. Pretty much completely on last hits. Both of them farming very well. Viper is winning against the Wind Ranger. These offlaners, though, not a great time for them, honestly. So Cheshire Cat, I was wondering why he didn't do this on the first wave, but he started to do the shards block in, like you can do with Clockwork, which people have realized you can do with those ice shards up at top, though. Oh dear. Centaur gonna get stunned up.
They really want this kill, and they're gonna have to fight for it. They will be able to get the kill before Screen is able to lay down the Aphotic Shield, and Screen's gonna take a large amount of damage as well. In fact, they're gonna go for the kill. They're going to try and chase him down underneath the tower, and with the double damage on J4, they're very successful. Double kill for the Vengeful Spirit.
Tries for the miscoil deny, but there's no chance of that. Like you said, DD Venge. A little bit too much damage, and now they're pushing into the tier 1. TP top from Centaur. This is not going to do anything. You've got no wave clear. Nothing to stop the push coming in, and with the healing ward down. Okay, just get straight in onto the tier 1 tower. Bot lane general, snowballed under the tier 1 as well, but chains come back from him on the Cheshire Cat. Secure that kill pretty nicely.
Nice pickup, but Elements are going to need a lot more of those if they hope to offset the pretty clear advantage that Power Rangers have in the laning phase. They're crushing that top lane, and Byrush is winning his mid against the Wind Ranger, as to be expected, I guess.
I just want to see more roams onto mid. The fact that you have so many stuns and you can chain lock down this Wind Ranger before she can get Wind Run out. She's actually a pretty simple kill. Like, you may not even need 3 heroes to roam in, just Cheshire Cat plus Slardar or something like that.
They're going to try right now with the Tusk, but the Aphotic Shield's always... Oh, that's a good Ice Shards. That's a beauty, actually. They're still going to be able to get the snowball out, slowing down Yoku enough to be able to get that 1 kill. And Screen, he's got to get out of here. Yeah, he's going to be just dove underneath the tower. Byrush is going to get the last hit necessary to get that 1 kill. TP in now from the Ember Spirit, fully trying to commit to Byrush, but now he has to jump to his Ren, then he hits Big Num and will be able to get that 1 kill, but the Viper is surprised, and that's the big one. Recovery, he has Zombie Slash, and that's going to be another kill. General's going to go down to that one. TP in next. It's going to be the Abaddon again with his short death timer, but he cannot do anything to provide a turnaround kill. So Arcade Power Rangers can walk away once again from the engagement being the big winners.
They are steamrolling through this lane, honestly, just rotating in. I didn't even see Recovery make his way down, but the fact they took that early tier 1, kind of reminiscent of what CDEC used to do at TI5, you know? Take the tier 1 by like 6-7 minutes, and then it creates this massive vacuum of space where your carry can actually move from top to mid. They used to do it a lot where you basically do the move into the actual stacked large camp where you're against like a Shadow Fiend or something to contest and move in there. But if you've got all these aggressive supports and heroes that can jump onto targets, then why not go in there for damaging kills? Now that's Tread's done for Venge. She's level 4, 2-1-1 build. You can't really understate how much damage she does at this point.
Yeah, if he could actually just get a few more levels, actually get to that level 7 with the maxed out magic missile and the swap available, the support is really high value if you actually get a good start.
Do you think she goes for the 4-1-1 build?
Maybe not, simply because of the Abaddon, but we'll see. Big Num going to be caught here in the kinetic field, trying to get the max distance away from General, but it's not going to happen. Disruptor is the one to claim that bounty.
Because we've seen a bunch of different builds on Venges. Like, Illidan in the one roll, obviously, he does like to go for the max stun early on just to get that magic damage output. But on this support Venge, I could equally see like a 2-0-4 build. Just the fact you've got amp damage, you've got tons of actual physical damage coming on top of that on top of the Vengeance aura.
General, he will be stunned up. Snowball follow up. Do they have enough damage? He pops the flame guard, and they will be able to survive a bit longer until the crush comes in. Maybe they can right-click down General. Cheshire Cat will go down for it, but they claim the carry of elements.
How many times have we seen General on this Ember Spirit thinking he can get away with that kill? Not going for the defensive play, not putting a Remnant behind him, and going pretty deep there into the middle of 3 when there's so many stuns around.
Yeah, this time he did get the kill. You can give him that much. Just was not worth it. It's okay, they'll have the level 6 on the Centaurs soon, and maybe that will provide a better time for General in general. Just being able to... that was not intended.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't.
I mean, it just makes me sound dumb. So...
yeah, why would you intend that? I don't know, this Viper going for the Mac build. You just know this timing is going to hit, where Slardar is honestly not far away from building into that Blink Dagger.
Clearing through some stacks, not going to give any of it to the Slardar, but at least he'll get the experience.
What do you reckon Recovery builds into? We've seen a lot of Battle Fury jugs. Yeah, he's picked up Ring of Health. He's going Battle Fury himself. A couple of people still like going the, you know, like S&Y route.
Yeah, I would have preferred the S&Y route this game. But
I mean, Loda did it the other day where he went BOTs, Yasha, S&Y, and then he was against the PL, so he went back for the Battle Fury, which I thought was good. You know, he had mobility, damage, and farming prowess.
Oh, the snowball hits ZXC. They are not going to be able to get the chain stun, though. And now Disruptor comes in with a beautifully placed ultimate. Double edge onto 2. Cheshire Cat and the Slardar both fall, and J4 has to run himself away from RMN to make sure he doesn't get glimpsed back. Fortunately, it's only a level 2 glimpse, so... Oh, wow, he still got it, though. J4 is dead now.
That turn.
3 heroes. Why did they try and go on a Centaur out of all the heroes? I mean, even they happened to hit him with the snowball, which was the best thing, the best case scenario for them. But just the general idea, I mean, it could have gone even worse. If they don't hit him with the snowball, they don't get that stun, they could be instantly war stomped.
Well, they had none of their carries with them either. Juggernaut was farming jungle, Viper is still sitting mid. They just don't have the damage output between them.
Recovery, he's got this taste rune. He's trying to go on Melancholy right now. Doesn't have enough mana, though. He needs 5 more mana to be able to pop his Omni Slash. Still trying to go for it.
Look at that grouping up, though, from Elements, realizing the threat and danger of that Juggernaut coming in. Now, General has been given room down in this bottom lane. He's getting closer to his BOTs, and that Centaur, you know, they took the tier 1. But what did they do after that? They left the lane, they farmed their own jungle, they didn't control lane equilibrium up at top, and Centaur is now getting very close to his blink. As RMN goes on a PGG warding mission, smokes up, time to run into the enemy jungle and get some vision down.
It's going to be a dangerous one. Yoku throws out that shackle shot, doesn't latch to anybody. General's going to jump forward now and try and get a change. They do have the glimpse play ready to go. They're going to bring the Viper back into the silence. Barash is not getting away from this one, and Power Rangers can't do anything to stop it unless the snowball comes in. Buys Barash a little bit more time, but they've got a perfect setup now to be able to take down at least 2 in exchange for the Viper. They're going to look for more. Screen, he doesn't have his level 6, and you're right, the Omni Slash is ready to go as well. They try and land it. Ice shards.
Oh, really?
They hit screen there, but
Creep wave is there.
Creep wave prevents recovery from going for it. They do take that middle tower, and the exchange is worth it for Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, that 2-for-1 trade. I can't believe Barash didn't die sooner. Snowball saved the shards, actually blocking a couple of heroes out from hitting him. It just took that Like, the only reason he died there was that Sleight of Fist came with cooldown at the perfect time for General, or else it would have been a 2 for 0. Viper could potentially have walked that off without a scratch.
Yeah, what happens if he had a mech in that scenario? Then that fight becomes even more one-sided. So those kind of plays from Elements, they can only do that like once. They can't afford those kind of aggressive maneuvers anymore. Net worth-wise, really in the favor of Juggernaut. 6,600. And Ember Spirit is naturally going to be behind a Juggernaut. Not going to be able to farm as fast as him anyway.
Oh, and
but
Jug has level 11. That level 2 Omni
Dire's
Slash
middle tower is
doubles the
under
damage of the Omni. Oh, yeah, doubles the damage. You get twice as many hits in there. So you can now look to solo kill out almost anyone. I think maybe the Centaur is the one guy that can't really get taken out by that.
Wind Ranger doesn't even have a point booster yet. Shackle Shot will land. Follow up here. They're going to try and get some damage out. Silence does a lot, and Big Num, unfortunately, just... It's the stickiness and the AoE of that Static Storm really prevented him from getting close enough range to get a crush without being silenced.
Yeah, good overlap there. Making sure that there was a gap in like the bottom right corner of the kinetic field where Jug could have moved to be not silenced, but because of that, Big Num couldn't get the crush in. This tier 1 mid is not gonna die, I don't think.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Barash does have his mech though. General just zipping himself around. His BOTs are up, so he can actually be a little more mobile across the map and farm a little bit more efficiently. But look at that. Writings on the wall. Time to wrap around and try and gank this bot lane.
If they actually successfully get a kill at bottom lane and also take that tower, Big Num will have his Blink Dagger. So this seems like a pretty smart play if it's successful. Even if they get the kill, though, Elements may still TP in and defend. Oh, they're actually gonna...
There's a remnant in there.
Oh, they can't do Roshan. That's what they were hoping for, but...
They could try? Are they waiting for it to expire, actually?
I mean, they could be waiting for it to expire or for General to jump to it.
It's gonna last. It's gonna outlast the smoke.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower
Not
is
great.
under
All right, Power Rangers just go for it anyway. The top lane is being pushed in, but with this much minus armor, it seems apparent that they will be able to claim it. I don't know. The TPs are coming in, but Roshan's already down at 3K. Is General going to make a play here?
What's the jump, though? Like, what's the way to get into the pit from on top of this ridge? There's no way.
Remnant expires. General opts not to try and make that play. And that just forced a lot of rotations. They didn't even get that tier 1 tower in the top lane. So that actually worked out beautifully for Power Rangers. They just waited until there was commitment at top. And it was hard for Elements to actually respond fast enough to get there.
I mean, it's such a natural trade, though, that you go for the tier 1, let them have Roshan, just go with it. But now they lose out on both fronts. General maybe can get the tier 1 on his own. There's no glyph available, and it's still low on the old HP. But it's not only Roche for tier 1 trade, it's a tier 1 for Arcade on top of that.
Middle tower did get a refreshed glyph now. Power Rangers still want to defend it after claiming the bottom tower. Glimpse back, Cheshire Cat. Well, now Big Num's going to be left all alone. The Shackle Shot controls him, and they cancel their TPs, giving up the tier 1 tower. Which should have been a pretty clean defense there from PR. Ends up getting countered by a nice glimpse and turnaround play.
Do you just try and push high ground here as Arcade, though?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We'll see. Gotta go for the tier 2. It looks like Elements are going to smoke up and rotate bottom. General ready to go with his Boots of Travel and Invis Rune. This could actually be a significant play. His Flame Guard being down, though, is going to be a problem. He's going to come in, Invis. Counter ward is there. They see him on the slash, but no, he gets out of range of the counter ward, and now Elements is in a good position to be able to respond. Recovery gets off its magic immunity, though. He's going to be able to get out of that silence. Tusk goes back into it, gets the punch on a Cheshire Cat, and RMN almost going down here. The rest of Power Rangers trying to form some sort of response here. Start going on his screen. Doesn't have his ultimate after tanking up the tower. Cheshire Cat, he's dodging General, but finally gets taken out by the Wind Ranger. But General has no way out of this one. A big crit comes out for recovery. Getting the kill. And this time around, it's Power Rangers who win the fight around a tower.
That was all Cheshire Cat, honestly. What a godlike player. He snowballs back into the middle of 3, draws all of their attention, means that Yoku can't play aggressively into like the Jug and the Viper. And he's running circles around them, just trying to find an angle for a Shackle Shot or something. Then the swap onto the Tusk means that the power shot doesn't finish him off. A tower hit goes onto him and he just runs himself through the trees. It's just Elements saw a target. They thought, okay, we kill one. Just kill one. But Cheshire Cat made it so difficult for them to find the actual target. But now Slardar nearly has his blink. Sells Mango. He picks it up. And with Aegis still up on this Viper for another, what, 3 minutes or so? Looking in pretty good stead to just go and take the remainder of the tier 2s.
Recovery now has a Yasha on top of that Battle Fury, so his farming speed is out of control. He also deals 200 damage a hit. And he's probably getting to the point now where his attack speed is enough to be able to deal right clicks during Omni Slash, which adds a significant amount of damage. Screen is snowballed. Tusk, fearing there was going to be some sort of response from multiple heroes.
Screen looks like he's rushing Aghanim Scepter.
There could be just value in the point booster, but Ags is pretty good. If they actually get both the Ags, Cheshire Cat, well, he's got Snowball. It's only going to buy him time. Actually gets the punch on the screen, not enough. Oh, it is! Ice Shards!
Okay.
He barely managed to kill the Abaddon in that fight, and that was a lot of rotations up to that top lane. The Ember Spirit completed his boots of travel, and that means Arcade Power Rangers have no one to stop him at this tier 2 tower.
Yes, so back to your point, if they get Ags on Centaur and Abaddon, right? 50% from Abaddon
And
is
then
soaked up and redirected.
Yeah,
And
and
70 from the Centaur, right?
60.
60. Oh, of course, they took it down quite a while back.
But that sounds pretty absurd. During a brief period of time, they would take, like, no damage. And alternatively, they could just go for how long does it last? 3.75.
I don't think you use them both at the same time. That's not going to be efficient because that's the way you want Abaddon's ulti to work. Is you want as much damage taken as possible to heal him up.
Right.
His ulti. And then it would also be multiplicatively, like taken into account where
you're not 50% and then 60% of 50%. It's not really. But yeah, I mean, if you chain them back to back, though, that's like 7 seconds
of near invulnerability.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. We'll see if we ever get to that point, though. Right now, we're talking about just a point booster on the Abaddon, and Centaur doesn't even have that much, only the Blink Dagger. Aegis will go down 4 minutes until the next Roshan.
Yeah, and honestly, Centaurs usually go for 4 staff after Blink. Get yourself that extra bit. You've got 4 staff on Disruptor now, actually. With Wind Ranger having her own Ags.
Ping in the right-hand side. Not sure why they're checking Roshan. Screen, yeah, he just gets the ward, sees Bignum. Not in a position to get the kill, though.
I feel this is where Recovery should be farming his own jungle or pushing top with the Viper. He's standing down here alone, and there's no way he can kill General in a 1v1 scenario.
Pop his head out. Go for the quick push. He's probably ready to go with spin TP out at any point in time. That is the one thing. Elements have no disable to go through Magic Immunity. Bad time to be against Juggernaut. There's the Battle Fury on the Ember Spirit. He's 3,000 gold behind the Juggernaut, though.
It's a waiting game. Elements just want to try and drag this out a little bit more. General, once again, General on this Ember Spirit, you know, interesting aggressive plays, but he always gets his farm. It's sometimes quite surprising at how well he does, you know, giving away a couple of deaths here and there, but
yeah, if he cleaned up his play.
Like I was impressed last game where he got what 22.5 minutes, 23-minute BOTs plus Battle Fury. This time around, 19 minutes pretty much on that combo of items.
Yeah, with 3 deaths. Pretty absurd. Cheshire Cat showing himself. Doesn't really have much mana, though. He's going to go for the play, but they needed Bignum to somehow be able to lead. If they had him with the crush, amplify damage, and then Walrus Punch, maybe, just maybe they could kill the Ember Spirit, but it seems unlikely.
Manta style on Jug.
I was thinking if that Yasha was going to go into Manta. And
We've seen this a lot from Silent and quite a few of the CIS players, and I really like it against Scarth mages and things like that, where there's Ancient Seal or the single target Silence or an Orchid even.
oh, is he going to hit the Q button fast enough? Centaur ultimate goes down, instantly silence up, no chance. Recovery will go down. Great setup there. RMN leading with the Static Storm was an important play to make sure there was no spin. If the Juggernaut spins, that whole entire fight turns into Power Rangers' favor.
So what's the reason for both of these carries going for Manta? Because the Viper's got one as well. Like, is Searing Chain that annoying to handle? I mean, it's a good pushing item as well, I suppose.
Yeah, for the Jug, I think it's about the push. When you already have Battle Fury. One kill. I don't think it's going to turn into more, though.
Ooh, Thunder Strike still going. And J4 couldn't get the swap out there. Go 1 for 1. Look at that Juggernaut only losing the Abaddon. General still, he's keeping this GPM up. He's actually starting to look like he'll contest that Juggernaut in terms of farm rate as well. What kind of utility do we have actually from Arcade? There's Medallion, Urn, and Avenge. There's no Glimmer Capes. No Force Staffs, nothing like that. So mobility-wise, they've got Blink Stun, and they've got Snowball.
Yeah, they'll have a Force Staff eventually on the Sword Art, but it only has the Ring of Regen so far.
Centaur is going straight into the Axe after Blink, actually. No Force Staff, no... I guess Hood in this game is not really going to do anything for you. No Blade Mail, though.
I like the Manta as a response to the Ember Spirit, I think, for Juggernaut. Because Boots of Travel Ember Spirit's going to be pushing lanes a lot. So you want to make sure that you're able to offset that advantage he usually gains. So then you can just Manta push waves.
And also, if you find yourself in like a 1v1 scenario, the Ember doesn't beat you in a 1v1.
Yeah.
Or he's not annoying anyway. Oh, there we go, the Blink Dagger. I was going to ask, does he go for the Basher or the Blink play? Because we've seen both of them come out of Juggernauts recently. It's going to be contested by a Blink from Wind Ranger as well, and a Gem from Disruptor. So, Elements looking like they're in actually a good spot here to take control of the map. Unless this smoke gank from Arcade works out, and they've got to get at least 2 here, I think.
They did have a really aggressive ward, but it doesn't seem like they really knew. Screen is going to be the first to be caught. He's definitely going down there, trying to look for more, but Screen is all they're going to get out of this.
Like, a single kill on Abaddon is not worth the 5-man smoke, honestly. You look at top and he's dead.
They're actually going for more. ZXT is going to go down as well. They managed to get him Bigdom. Caught up to him. They get that kill with the Omni Slash, and now they're going to look for that Roche shot.
They got the 2 of them, and Roche, but they're going to lose a bit of damage on their tier 3 up at top. Looks like Elements are a little bit worried about where Arcade are placed and where they're heading to. But with the TP back, it should be pretty clear that the Roche pit is filled with Dire Heroes.
So this is about the time that you probably look to trying to end the game. Really aggressively push forward for Power Rangers. See if you can claim that gem. Make sure there's no time for heroes like the Abaddon and Centaur to farm up their eggs. ZXC's about to get a second part of that.
How does Abaddon even get there? He's not a farming hero. He's not a hero who actually gets kills. He's not an impact hero really. He just sits behind, waits for someone to get gone on, throws out spells, and hopes as much of his defensiveness can stick onto one of his allies.
Yeah, the only time you get kills is in the early game, potentially with a Photic Shield exploding. Otherwise, your farm is now laid claim to by Ember Spirit.
He's becoming an absolute beast. Daedalus is almost completed. And at this point, you look at Arcade, and 5-6 minutes ago I thought, well, with an Aegis, maybe they can try pushing high ground. If that Ember is left to ball out of control, it just becomes harder and harder. And you add in the Stampede Disruptor with his spell. Wind Ranger mid.
Cheshire Cat doesn't have a way out of this. Couldn't get the Walrus Punch onto Yoku. ZXC is going to come and finish him off with the double edge. J4 still has the opportunity to respond, and they have the Juggernaut with the Omni Slash. He's going to turn around, go for RMN. Force tap over. They're actually buying themselves a lot of time here. He now looks towards ZXC as he clears through a lot of these creeps. Still has the Omni Slash. Doesn't necessarily need it, though. Screen comes back to try and save the Centaur, but now maybe he's going to be caught on the way out. Meanwhile, what's happening in the bottom lane? Shackle shot, Barish. They're just going to TP out. Back over to Screen. His ultimate has now been popped away. Blink Dagger up in 6 seconds. Screen's going to go for the TP out. J4. They reveal him, though. Big Num hits the big-time stun. That's a 2-for-1 there for Power Rangers.
And they've got Aegis still up on this Juggernaut and level 3 Omni Slash ready to go. These heroes down for a significant amount of time. Ember Spirit's Daedalus could stall this push up. I think he's got to get the split push going. I mean, Yoku's starting up on top lane, and I think General mid shouldn't really go and join top lane, putting all of your eggs in one basket. Just get your slides down onto the Cheshire Cat middle lane and do as much damage as you can to quell this aggression forward. In recovery, he's actually farming enemy jungle while the rest of his team's pushing in.
He's waiting out. He's got 5k. He can almost get an Abyssal and then lay claim to the Blink instant stun. Be really valuable against some of these heroes. Swap in. Screen is going to be the target first. Still has his ultimate, though. Stun gets laid down on him. Walrus Punch almost finished him off there. Managed to get off the ultimate. And then Healing Ward will actually buy some recovery. Cheshire Cat, though. Oh, he gets out, but it's still not enough. The Sleight of Fist bouncing damage. Gets him in the end. Shackle Shot comes forward. Recovery still has that Blink Omni Slash ready to go. Oh, nice. 3-man stun from Big Num. Minus armor on a lot of them, and now Recovery's just going to kill ZXC. Full Omni Slash onto him. Just eliminates the hero and pops his magic immunity to make sure that RMN can't glimpse him back. At least not yet anyway, but he is going to be caught. Blink away. He's out. Big Num, he got caught by the Sleight of Fist chains. That ward did a significant amount of work there. Got both the glimpse play as well as catching Big Num.
Yeah, great on-the-fly play by RMN, placing that ward in the middle of a team fight pretty much. It's like, right, they're heading up to high ground. We need vision up there. Allowing the slight chains and Shackle Shot to fly up from the Wind Ranger and Ember Spirit. Perfect timing. Do they have a...
Butterfly is the choice.
Oh. I guess against Ember and Wind Ranger, that's not a bad choice. How long do they have an Aegis, though? Because it feels like both Roshan's Arcade have taken. They haven't pushed forward to actually use this Aegis aggressively.
Oh, swap. Buys a little bit of time here. Cheshire Cat still coming forward, but the Sleight of Fist is a little bit obnoxious.
Blinked aggressively.
Yeah, Recovery thinks he can do something here. Pops a spin at the last second, goes for RMN. And the silence is actually laid down, but with the Manta, they'll still get that kill. And Screen is also going to be caught. He's trying to go for Cheshire Cat. He'll be slowed down and will not be able to gain that kill. 17-24, 30 minutes in, and Arcade Power Rangers are now going to look to push uphill. They still have this Aegis, though not sure for how long.
It's like 20 seconds left or something.
Yeah.
If that.
Solar Crest complete, though, for the Vengeful Spirit. With the Butterfly up, the Juggernaut actually has insane high ground pushing potential now.
And Omni Slash in 10 seconds. If he can actually see General or Yoku, I think Yoku's the one you go for here, just try and take them out of the fight instantly.
Shackle Shot. Just buying a bit of time here. 4 more seconds until the Disruptor's back.
Aegis is gone.
Going to be very key. Nice spin. ZXC, right as he chose to blink in, they managed to claim that melee racks. Glimpse back, though. Oh my god, he Manta dodged it!
What a player.
That is beautiful timing there from Recovery.
I've seen it done with Phantasm before, and I know you can do it with Manta.
Oh, Screen. He's going to be the first one stunned up. Swap in. They're going to try and get General with the 2-man stun. They can get him with the Omni Slash. Get both. And now jump back to Screen, who's going to be an easy kill once this ultimate ways away. J4 is going to die to the Aphotic Shield, but Yoku is going to die for that damage as he's run down by Big Num. Round 2 here for General. Managed to get ahead. Ever so barely.
Triple buyback there from the Radiant.
I mean, they've already claimed the melee racks. No point in Power Rangers sticking around if so many buybacks are going to be expended from Elements. That feels like a total loss there from Elements. Throw that many buybacks when there isn't something to defend.
And it all starts off with that spin from Recovery, meaning that the Centaur's initiation was pretty much worthless. He didn't get in on a target, no damage output, and Arcade honestly, the swap's out from this Vengeful Spirit. Getting herself into a position where a Shackle Shot was actually lined up from the Venge onto someone behind her. She swaps herself in, so the Shackle Shot does nothing. It's just diminished completely. And then Yoku's in a situation where he can't output damage. General has to buy back. And
Shackle Shot lands. Snowball incoming. Just your cat.
So
Grab
tanky,
him. And
though.
RMN didn't have the Static Storm to stop that one. Stun misses. There's a gem on the ground. Screen is going to be the one hit by the Snowball. General is... Oh, ZXC actually responds, but a good Force Staff actually buys Cheshire Cat the time. Oh, no, a crit. 801 damage. Now J4 is actually going to be caught as well. Glimpse back with the Shackle Shot still on him.
Cut your losses.
The Power Rangers realize that this fight could go very bad very quickly. They've lost their 2 supports and are not going to stick around with their cores.
This is where Elements are like, right, we've bought back, let's make something of it. They get 2 kills, which honestly isn't that bad.
Middle tower
But
is
if they can
under
get this
attack.
tier 2 and maybe some damage into the tier 3, it's not going to be the easiest of propositions, seeing as Cheshire Cat does have a buyback and is still trying to handle this Viper, who has a full AC on top of his Manta style. And what have we got? Recovery BOTs.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower.
Man, but where do they go from here? Because Roshan still isn't up. It's not like they can use this control for anything. In my mind, I think the buybacks still are not worth it for Elements.
No. Like, to make it worth it, they need to take like a tier 3 mid, or at least kill the Juggernaut, right?
Yeah.
Because then if you kill the Jug, you maybe force his buyback, and things don't even out, but it's something in return for your investment, really, into that push forward. Oh.
Roshan, just now, the timer popped, so it's going to be 2.5 minutes.
There's your first Aghanim Scepter. Stage 1 of invulnerabilities ready for Elements.
I mean, this is pretty significant considering the damage reduction against the Omni Slash.
Yeah. Just need another 1,000 gold for that Abaddon to have it now.
Oh, Ember Spirit TPing out to the bottom lane. They could actually get this kill. The Omni
He has
Slash.
a remnant.
Maybe there's enough damage fast enough. Oh my god, there is!
Shit.
Those crits are insane out of recovery.
Okay, that's level 2 amplified damage and a dead Ember Spirit. Honestly, that might be game over.
Yeah,
Ember's Slight was the reason Elements could actually defend high ground here.
Radiant's bottom tower is
The
under
General
attack.
dead for 70 seconds. My goodness. Okay, this might just be them stacking racks. Cheshire Cat's being chased out by ZXC over towards the secret shop, but he's too tanky. You can't kill him off. The rest of the Radiant, where are they? What are they doing?
yeah, Cheshire Cat's just slowing him down until Big Num can get here. Bash goes out. Ultimate getting laid down, trying to get over the cliffs. He does make it, but Big Num follows him right on through. He's a cliff walker too. That's going to be also Screen going down in the bottom lane, and that's got to be GG. They get the swap. RMN, he's dying to recovery. Butterfly activated. Shackles out underneath the wild. Oh no! Recovery. You went too far. You flew too close to the sun. And now he's going to have to buy back and TP in. This is a potential play now for Elements.
30 seconds without Ember Spirit, though. They can go tier 4s. There's no glyph for how long? 40.
Oh, they're going to go for the full lane of racks here.
Okay. Get Megas up. Go for the sake of play.
GG.
GG is cool. There we go. Knowing that Arcade aren't going to mess around, they're not going to slip up.
Has fallen.
GG well played, and Big Num, I think he's a little bit salty about game number 2, and well, maybe for game number 1 this entire series, but Arcade,
GG well played.
Arcade's honestly like the freaking American Postal Service, you know, through rain and snow, through DDoS and internet issues, just powering through the series, and definitely well-deserved win over Elements.
Yeah, they certainly deserve to be one of the teams going into the DotaPit main event for the European qualifier. Our next best of 3 that's going to be taking place is going to be London Conspiracy versus Team Bad English. So that should be coming up right away, guys. Short break. We're already behind schedule, and we'll be back.